Welcome to Do It in Durham. This is Durham's celebration of entrepreneurship and is held each November during Global Entrepreneurship Week. Do It in Durham Entrepreneurship Week is a collaboration of Durham's business support, educational, and networking organizations who have come together to encourage and support entrepreneurs, job creators, and innovators who create economic growth in the Durham region. If you are looking to start a business, invest in a business, grow a business, we encourage you to do it in Durham region. Thank you to our sponsors. It truly takes a village. Without their support and contribution, we could not host this week. So we've got our premier sponsors, our partner sponsors, our community sponsors. So we're truly grateful to them. Feel free to share your experience and to help raise awareness and visibility that you are open for business and that the Durham region has a thriving business community. I will be sharing some hashtags in the chat box that you can use along with your posts. That'll be wonderful. And if you're interested, we invite you to subscribe to the BACD YouTube channel to receive a notification when videos are uploaded and to check out the ones that are already there. My name is Patrice Esper. I'm a business advisor and program coordinator at the BACD. I will be facilitating this session and monitoring the chat box. Please take a moment to network in the chat box, share who you are or about your business, and remember to add your contact details or website so we can learn more about you. Save the chat so you can access it later. Because please, we don't want you accessing it now where amazing Anna is going to share with us some very interesting information that's going to help us with our business. We encourage you to turn your cameras on for a more engaging experience if you wish. And I now hand it over to Anna to lead us through this session. Welcome, Anna. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I am very excited for today and this week in general. There's such amazing speaking events happening and different workshops and whatnot. So definitely recommend checking those out if you haven't yet. Today, we're going to be talking about marketing. We're going to talk about how to identify your next step in marketing. Because in all honesty, there's so many things that you can do in marketing. When someone asks me, you do marketing, what does that mean? I'm like, it is a long list because it can encompass so many different things. But as a business owner, especially if you don't have a team or you have limited resources, you don't have the time or the financial backing to do 20 different things with your marketing. You really just want to choose the marketing tactics that are going to benefit your business the most and create a marketing plan that allows you to streamline your efforts and maximize your impact because time is money. So today we're going to talk about your marketing strategy, how to put one together, and how to identify what that next step is for you and your business. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat and I will get back to them at the end of today's presentation. But feel free to do so. So if we haven't met before, my name is Anna Pautassi. I am the founder of Dreaming Big Lifestyle. I am a business coach and a marketing expert. I've been in the marketing world for 10 plus years. And my focus is working with small businesses like yours and entrepreneurs to start and grow their business to achieve that financial stability, time freedom, using marketing strategies, business strategies, and mindset work. If we're not connected on social media, please feel free to follow me on whatever platform you're on. I am pretty much everywhere, but that does not mean that you need to be everywhere, okay? And we will talk a little bit about that. But feel free to follow me at Dreaming Big Lifestyle. Okay, so I always like to start these off with a little freebie because as much as it's great for you to be here and to get hands-on learning about this topic in particular, I always love giving you something that can take this further. So I do have access to a free challenge. It's a 10-day business challenge. And what this is that each day you're going to get some sort of prompt that takes about 10 minutes a day, but it's going to push you to do things in your business that are going to help you grow and increase your sales and get yourself out there. So I highly recommend checking those out. You can actually scan the QR code. If you go to my website, I also have freebies there and there's other challenges as well. So this one in particular, you'll get prompts like different post ideas, different things like that, like really pushing you and guiding you on what to do each day to get yourself out there, to show Durham region that you're open for business. So go check this out. If you don't have a chance to scan the QR code before I switch to the next slide, then it'll be on my website as well. You can grab it there. Okay, so today we are going to talk through these 5 steps to help identify what your next move should be. The first thing we're going to talk about is your business. The second is your brand presence. Then your marketing today, because we need to know what you're already doing. And then we're going to identify the missing piece to put together your marketing plan. So let's dive in. I always like to start off with this conversation of marketing is the thing in your business that allows it to run 24/7 without you having to work 24/7. Because primarily now in like 2024, 2025, the era that we're in, you have an online presence, which means that although you might not be actually on your phone or your computer, your business is still doing its thing. It's still showing awareness, it's still magnetizing people, it's still doing all these things for you. So your marketing actually works for you in 2 ways at all times. It builds brand awareness and lead generation. Your brand awareness is your marketing, which has the power to create a visual identity that speaks to and attracts your ideal client. This is achieved by creating a visual brand that people can easily identify as your brand and through consistency. So if you think about like Lululemon, for example, you know, when you see that little U-shape, upside down U-shape thing, I don't know what to call it, or the color yellow, you're like, yeah, that's Lululemon. Or when you see the polar bear commercial, you're like, I think this is a Coca-Cola commercial. They have built a brand awareness that's very strong. And small businesses do this as well. There are certain posts that come up on my feed, and based on the color, I'm like, I feel like this is Jen's. I feel like this is Suzanne's. I feel like this is, and I'm usually 99% of the time right, because you've built this brand awareness around your visuals. And then there's lead generation. Your marketing generates leads for your business. It allows clients to understand what you do, how it helps them, and how they can buy from you. It's about creating funnels for your business and also strengthening your repeat clients. So you have these 2 things going on all the time with your marketing. No matter what you're doing, what marketing tactic you're putting into play, you have a brand awareness and you have a lead generation happening. So here is a list, which I will say is a little bit condensed because I feel like this would be much larger if I were to detail everything, but it's a list of marketing tactics. So we have about 26 here. And what I would like for you to do from this list is to choose 3 to 5 that catch your eye. Ideally, ones that you aren't doing or ones that you're like, I'm kind of touching on this, but I would like to take it further. So here we have blogs. This is great for SEO. I'm just going to put that out there. SEO is your search engine optimization, because I'm going to sidetrack a little bit here, but I feel like this is important. So on your website, once you build it, you're probably not going in there and adding a lot of stuff. You're not changing a lot of things on your website, but your blogs is a place for you to add more information about maybe new services that you've launched or topics that relate to your services. And in doing so, you actually are generating SEO. You are generating more specific keywords and terms that your website will now populate for when people are searching those. So blogs, if you haven't thought about this, I highly recommend. The other one that I'm going to point out here is newsletters or some sort of email communication. Because if you're relying solely on social media platforms like Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, at any point in time, your account can be deleted. Like on Instagram in particular, if enough people report your page, which hopefully no one out here is hating on anyone, just going to say that. If enough people report your page, Instagram will automatically take down your page without actually looking into it. And it takes quite some time to get it back up and running, to work through those like reports that people have done. Now, I don't expect that anything like this is going to happen to you, knock on wood, but you never know. So by having a newsletter, which you can generate by adding people that have reached out to you for information or adding past clients, current clients, creating some sort of download that people need to provide their information for, including their email, that is going to allow you to create an email newsletter. And that gives you full access to people's contact information. And what I like to say about this is that people's emails and inboxes are a curated list, because unlike social media, they have signed up for every email that they're getting. On social media, you're getting sponsored ad or recommended things, right? So emails are actually such a great tool. And I have clients that will send out a newsletter, and then within 3 hours, they're like, I just got an inquiry. I'm like, fantastic. That's what we want happening. So blogs and newsletters, definitely something to consider. Some other things on here that might interest you would be things like hosting some sort of event or webinar or live, or collaborating with other brands or influencers. media outreach and interviews, being featured in people's podcasts, networking events like the ones that the Do It in Durham is hosting this week, trade shows or expos that you can go to, sponsoring industry events, partnering with other brands, creating loyalty or reward programs, your brand. Your brand is actually a marketing tactic, your referral programs. These are all different ones. So select 3 to 5 that catch your eye, or that you're like, ooh, I haven't thought about this, or oh, you know what? This has come up before and I never took it anywhere, or I'm only just touching the surface in this. I want to dive deeper into it. Okay, so let's start things off. The first thing we want to talk about is your business. But I want to take a little bit of a different approach with this. So I want to tap into the emotions and feeling your business creates, because whatever business you're in, whatever industry you're in, you're probably not the only one in it. That is just the reality, because the likelihood of us creating something brand new is very small, simply because, like, the era that we're in, everything is up and coming. We're kind of just making things better, adding our own flair to it. So what I want to do to help you stand out more with your marketing and your business is talk about your business in a slightly different way. So I want to talk about the emotions and feelings. So I want you to think about, what are 3 feelings you want your business to evoke in people? When people interact with your social media, when people come to your website, when people talk to you, what are the feelings you want them to walk away with? Do you want them to feel motivated? Do you want them to feel informed? Do you want them to feel educated? Do you want them to feel happy, excited, bold, encouraged? What are those 3 words, those 3 feelings? And then I want you to kind of audit where you're doing this in your business currently. If you were to look at your social media, whichever platform you're on, do you feel like that emotion is coming through? Do you feel like your website does that through its image, through its content? So I'm sure that you're not going to be able to audit this in detail right now during this call, but just make a note of this and then go through your business assets. And then think about, where can you incorporate more of this? Is there a place where you can add more of this emotion, more of this feeling? Doesn't mean that the pictures need to be changed. Are you maybe playing a little bit safe on your social media account? This isn't about not playing safe. This is about going all in. And then I want to tap into the transformation and desire. So what is the problem your business or product or service is solving for people? Is it that they have a lot of clutter and you help them declutter? What problem do they have and what are you solving? And this ties into the second one. What is the desire that your business, product, service fulfills? They desire to have a home or space that makes them feel calm and not cluttered. That becomes your transformation. You go from point A to point B, right? And somewhere in the middle is what you offer that allows them to get to the end result. And then in terms of this being a story, this transformation desire being a story, where can we add more of this story to your business? Because ultimately, people want to buy a story. They want to be like, wow, Anna went through the exact same thing I did. Or, oh, she helped this client and what she's going through is exactly how I'm feeling right now. And this person is already seeing results. So it kind of feels like a no-brainer that I should go in and talk to Anna and see if this is the right thing for me. The next thing about your business that is important for you to know and understand in order to identify what marketing you need to be doing is your UVP or USP. UVP is your unique value proposition, or you can look at it as your unique selling proposition. All in all, it's between like 1 sentence to 2 sentences that tells people what you do, who you do it for, and what makes you different. Okay, so that can look like, I'm a business coach. Or if I want to get more specific, I can say I am a business consultant, because people know the consultant word a little bit more. I work with small business owners or entrepreneurs. I'm saying who I do it for and what makes me different. I incorporate 3 things into all of my programs: marketing strategies, business strategies, and mindset strategy. All those 3 are infused in everything that I do and the way that I help my clients, because it allows them to achieve X, Y, and Z. And I can add in the transformation into this 1 to 2 sentence identifier of my business. The other thing that's super important for your business and to know what to do with your marketing is your ideal client. And I would say probably this is the biggest one. So your ideal client is so important because the more you understand them, the more that you can create things specifically for them. Because if I think about my ideal client and I'm thinking, you know what, based on conversations I'm having with my current client or people in the industry or other small business owners who are my ideal client, they want to be out and about. They want to be seeing people. So my next marketing strategy would be to actually do some sort of event in person, right? Because I'm noticing that this is the trend, this is the conversation. Or everyone that I'm talking to, and this is actually true, a lot of my clients are constantly telling me about all these podcasts that they're listening to. So I get interviewed. I actually go out of my way. There's a couple of Facebook groups, which you should search these up, where people that have podcasts will put on there, I'm looking for a guest speaker. And you'll just pitch yourself. For the ones that feel like are, somewhat aligned with your ideal client, you think that they're listening to this, or it's topics that you feel you're an expert in it, and get yourself interviewed on them. Because my ideal client is telling me that they're listening to podcasts, right? So I'm not yet ready to start my own podcast, but that will probably be a likely step in the future, simply because that's where my ideal client is. That's what they're absorbing information from right now. So think about your ideal client. The more you understand them, the better. Think about, like, right now, what do you know about them? And if you're brand new in business, what I suggest is asking yourself, like, why you started this product or service or business. Sometimes it'll be because there was a version of you a year ago that needed this. So think about yourself back then. Like, what was he, she, them thinking, doing, desiring, wanting? What is their career? What do they do for fun? What keeps them up at night? Like their biggest fears? What do they desire most? These answers are going to allow you to create content that makes your client feel understood. And that's ultimately what we want, because that creates a magnetism with your marketing. Because your marketing, you have outreach or outbound and inbound. Inbound is things like your social media, where you're not going sliding into people's DMs. You are posting something and they're reaching out to you, right? And then outbound can look like going to a networking event and talking about your business with someone and exchanging contact information, or actually like cold calling people, picking up the phone and calling people, right? So you also have these two aspects going on. Now, for me, the more fun one is doing the inbound marketing. Outbound marketing is really fun when it comes to networking, not so much when you have to like cold DM someone. But when you really understand your ideal client, you can now create things like this. So instead of saying something generic, like, let's take your business to the next level, you can actually say something like, how amazing would it feel to take the day off to binge watch the new season of Bridgerton, because I know that my ideal client loves this TV show, and have your phone ping with notifications, because I know that there are small business owners and entrepreneurs wanting to make more sales. They want sales coming in while they're enjoying their life. For the offer you launched last week, your business has the power to get you leads while you enjoy your life. That's more impactful, and I can actually visualize that a little bit more than someone saying, let's take your business to the next level. Or here's an example for one of the stories I posted. Picture this. You visit your favorite coffee shop to grab your drink of the season. You head to the water to watch the waves as you do your morning routine. You get a message from your friend inviting you to lunch later, and you say yes without hesitation. No guilt, nothing at all. At lunch, your phone pings, a sale notification for your offer. You're prioritizing your life without the guilt of taking time off. Your business functions without you having to be on 24/7. Welcome to your first-class freedom life. Now, that last part is one of my programs. It's called First Class Freedom. So I'm kind of tying that in without saying, hey, sign up for this program, right? But this is a visualization. So now I'm magnetizing my client because they're understanding what I'm talking about. But I can't do this if I don't understand. It's like using an analogy about sports versus usually using an analogy about travel or shopping. Like if I say it about sports, the analogy, and my client isn't into sports, they're scrolling by. They're not paying attention. This information is in one ear, out the other. Right? So this is important because no matter what marketing tactic you put into play, you really want to understand your ideal client so that when you're putting in the time and doing it intentionally, you're going to get the most results out of it. I have a client that posts once in a blue moon, literally once in a blue moon on her social media, and she gets clients every time she does so because she is so tuned in to who her ideal client is. that she's not posting all the time. And I will say that she does have a great network where a lot of her clients are coming through other places. They're checking out her socials just to see, what her style is because she's a photographer, but they're reaching out to her in different ways. Now I want to talk about adding you into the equation because you are what make your business unique. And this is the difference between jumping on board the next marketing thing and actually doing something that makes sense for you. When TikTok first came out, everyone was like, you have to be over there. You have to be over there. And there have been businesses that have blown up on TikTok and that's all they do. That's all they focus on. I've also heard from people that use Threads. Threads is the one that Instagram populated, which is like, I guess almost like a Twitter situation. And that's all they do. And they get clients off of Threads by just posting these little updates. You have to find your space, but in order to do so, you need to add you into the equation of your business. Otherwise, it's so easy to hop on that next trend and then feel like you're behind. And I don't want you to feel that way. Because if you get really good at one thing, one marketing tactic, you don't really need to do it all. Should you do it all? Sure. I mean, if you have the time and the resources to do that, why not? Because it opens up how many different avenues for people to find you, right? But if you're really good at what you do on one platform, that could make you blow up. Blow up isn't like get a lot of business. So I want you to think about what are 3 things about yourself that you love? For myself, I can say things like, I love my curly hair. That's one thing that I love about myself, right? What are 4 things you love to talk about? Well, one of them for me would be travel. If we sit down for a coffee and we talk about travel, like I could be there for hours. Could also be there for hours talking about marketing and talking about business. Those are things that I love to talk about. And then where is this incorporated into your business? Are you actually adding yourself into your business? Or have you set up your business based on how everyone else is doing things in your industry? Or with this professional corporate style, which there's nothing wrong with either of those. But in order for you to stand out, in order for your marketing to really be impactful, I want you to start adding you into the equation. Even this picture of me on the phone, like that is not a very like corporate phone, right? Like that's not like normally you would see someone at a desk answering a phone. Like that would be more like industry standard. And probably not an old school like rotary phone, right? It'd probably be a cell phone. But I was like, no, I want to go unique. I want to do things a little bit different. This feels more like me. This feels more fun. So where is this incorporated into your business? And how can you incorporate more of it? So your marketing today, I want you to take a moment and actually write down all the current marketing activities that you're doing. Are you doing video? Are you on YouTube? Which social media platforms are you on? Do you have a newsletter, blogs? Do you attend networking events? Do you go to conferences? Are you hosting events? Do you have a referral program? Are you in Facebook groups? I realized that I have blog and newsletter on there twice, so don't worry about that. But I want you to make a list of everything you're doing. Because if I said to you, or if we looked at your ideal client and you're telling me that you are running podcasts right now, but your ideal client is not listening to podcasts because they don't have the time to, then I don't want you spending time over there because that's not really adding to your business. So as much as this speaking event is about identifying what your next marketing step is, it's also a way of like chopping off the things that just aren't working right now, the things that aren't where you should be. So also look at it that way. Like you're kind of auditing and being like, if I had to switch resources from here to here to move on to my next marketing tactic, does that make sense? Am I adding on to it or am I taking away from somewhere where my efforts are just not doing what they need to be doing? And that brings us to auditing your current marketing. So what kind of marketing tactics are you using? We just identify those. And I want you to also look at it in a bit more detail in terms of what success have you seen from each marketing tactic? Have you seen growth? Like, have you seen your leads increase? Have you seen your followers increase if we're talking about social media? Has it increased your brand awareness? Are people saying like, wow, I saw that you posted about this, like that was amazing. Like, are you getting comments? Like what is the success that you're seeing? The next thing I want you to think about is where are most of your clients coming from? And where have they come from this year? Are they referrals? Are they coming from Instagram? Are they coming from your website? Well, what I will say about this is I had someone say to me that they wanted to update their website. And I asked them, okay, great, but where are your clients coming from? And they're like, well, they're all referrals. And I said, let's pause on the website. It's great to have, it's great to update it. It's great to do all the things with your website because it gives you an online presence. It allows your business to work for you 24/7. But if you're telling me all your clients are coming through referrals, you need to set up some sort of referral program to boost that. Because everyone that's worked with you is already telling everyone that they know that they should come work with you. So let's incentivize that so they scream about it louder, you know? That would be a good next step in their marketing. So you might notice that when you're looking at stuff, when you're auditing your business, you might be like, okay, people aren't necessarily coming through my website, but when I'm getting on calls with people, they're referencing things to my website. So those are also good things to note. The other thing I want you to figure out is what goals have you set and did you reach them? Because sometimes what we'll do is we'll put things into motion and we won't actually set a goal. So we have no benchmark for success. You know, if your goal was just to like get out there more often, be more consistent on social media, have you achieved that? Have you been more consistent on it? Fantastic. If your goal was to get one more client, two more clients this year, did that happen? How close were you to the goal? What worked well in the past in creating leads and brand awareness? What are those things that were working well for you? Was it posting in a Facebook group? Was it going to a networking event? What hasn't worked for you in the past? Are you showing up with where your ideal client is? If your ideal client is spending time on Pinterest, saving things for their next home renovation, and you're not on there, and you do home renovations, probably what your next marketing tactic should be. And then how are you standing out from others in your industry? This is where you come into the equation, right? So now identifying the missing piece. Is there a disconnect between where you are and where your client is? How can you have more fun in your business? I think this is so important because sometimes we make business a little stuffy. You know, we head down, get to work, which is not a bad thing at all. But when we make it fun, our energy comes through differently and people are magnetized differently. They respond to things differently. You'll see your engagement go up on social media or whatever marketing tactic you're using when you start having more fun. And that's a good way of adding more view into what you do. And then are you spending time on marketing tactics that aren't generating results? You know, the thing with this one that I want you to think about is you might have a website and you're like, well, I'm paying for this website and I don't get any leads from it. Okay, but is it a source of information about your services? Then it's good to keep. Because where else are they getting that information? Maybe you're not getting the right results from one of your social media channels, but you know that people are going and looking at stuff because you're posting videos and you can see how many people it's reaching. So you're like, you know what? This is generating brand awareness. Although the leads might not be coming through, it's generating enough brand awareness that I want to keep this going. And lastly, what I want you to do is think about the steps your customer take from awareness to purchase. How are they making their decisions? Are they making their decisions instantly where they're going on a website, adding to cart and checking out? If they are, and you don't have an add to cart option for them to check out right away, that's something that you want to update. That's a marketing strategy you want to put into play. If you know that they're taking 2 months to 3 months to make a decision because it's a big investment, what are the different touch points that are happening? That means that your consistency on social media needs to be there for at least 3 months at a time, right? Like you got to be consistent because you know that people are watching and they're ready to make that decision, but it takes them longer. What are the gaps, if there are any, in the client journey right now that you're not filling? Is it that they want to get on a discovery call? Is it that they want something that they can just read, like a PDF download or something? Is it a video that they want to watch? If you have clients right now, which I bet you a lot of you do, a good way to get some additional research done for this would be to send out a survey and ask certain questions based on what it is that you want to know, right? So if you're like, yeah, I want to know if you guys are listening to podcasts. So the question could be like, do you listen to podcasts? And what are the topics that you're listening to or interested in? You could ask things like that. Your current clients are more than happy to give you this information. So to recap, get clear on your business and your ideal client. Then we want to talk about your brand presence, which is adding more of you into your business. Audit your current marketing. And then figure out your marketing today, like what is going on right now, and then how can you start closing the gap? Once you have that, we can actually create a marketing plan. So in order to do so, these are the things that you need to start off with. Number one, what is your focus for the month? This is so important because this is almost like the umbrella, the overarching North Star of what it is that we're working towards this month. Now, mind you, if you know that it takes your client 3 months to make a decision, because that's what their journey is like, this might be your focus for the quarter. But you're going to have either an overarching topic or the service you want to promote or product. What is that? Then you want to set your goal. I want to get this, like right now, if you book a discovery call, that's how I'm getting people into a funnel to then buy the service, right? So then your call to action and your goal would be to get X amount of people into a discovery call and then X amount of sales out of that discovery call. Is it growing your account? So your CTA, your call to action, would be book a discovery call, right? Because that's what we want people to do. And then based on your goal and focus, how can you use marketing to reach it? So what we're going to do is actually create a calendar. So your marketing plan is truly a calendar. You're going to add your social media channels, your monthly newsletter, networking events, hosting a free workshop, whatever it is that you identified you want to do. And then you're going to fill in the consistency and make it detailed so that this acts as your motivator to show up and get it done. So some recommendations before I show you the marketing plan are things like choose one social media channel to get good on. Like I mentioned, there's brands that just use TikTok and only TikTok, and they are blowing up because they enjoy being on there and they're really good at it and they know that their ideal client is on there. Set yourself up as the account to go to for your industry. You're the go-to account. You're the authority figure. If someone wants to know something about marketing, they're coming to my account. I'm the authority figure in that. Showing that as an example. The other thing that I want you to think about for your marketing strategy is creating one source of long content. So long content, unlike social media, there's a limit on how much you can talk on a video, how much you can write in a caption. So long-term or long-form content, or think like newsletters where you can really like go deep into a conversation. Podcasts where you can talk on there for 30 minutes to an hour. People don't get bored. Or YouTube videos. So think about long content. Do you have a form of this where people can really dive deep into what you have to say about your industry, your services, the transformation you can provide? Show up on your stories daily. If you can, I highly recommend showing behind the scenes. Like I've been talking about this workshop. I took a selfie right before we kicked off, so I'll share that later, to show people that you're running your business, you're showing up for it. It lets people get to know you and it helps build that trust. And then the other thing that I want you to think about is networking, whether it's online or in person. You could do this in Facebook groups, you can do this events. These are 4 things that I recommend that you focus on every month. And then you're going to put together your strategy. Now, yes, this is a calendar. But that is what your strategy is, because now you have your goal, what your focus is, and now you can fill in the blanks, right? So you can see where you have time to do more, where things need to be shifted. If, for example, your social media topics for this week or month are all about time management, and you're also starting a blog, maybe on your blog, you're going to go deeper into that. You're going to go deeper into talking about time management. But all of these things are working together to create touch points that drive people to a specific goal. Your goal being your call to action, whether that's book a discovery call, buy the service, add to cart, use this discount, whatever that is. But all these things are working together for you to use your marketing strategically and intentionally. It's all building off of each other. So if you want to create something like this, you could go and buy an actual calendar and start writing on it. Whatever works for you, the more detail, the better. You know, if this month the conversation is time management, those 2 blogs that I have on Thursdays, those are going to be regarding that topic. And also how they connect to the service or product I provide. Now, as a thank you, I always like to offer this as a thank you. If you want to take this further, I do offer a 1-hour coaching session. So you're welcome to scan the QR code or book that. And I'm just going to go through the chat and answer any questions that came through. Okay.
No questions that came through, but I'm going to take a moment to say thank you very much, Anna, for sharing this information. Love the questions because they act as prompts and they're very self-reflective, right? So love that. And I hope people go through it more carefully and use it for that purpose, because I think it helps you build out intent around your marketing plan. So on behalf of Do It in Durham, the Business Advisory Center of Durham region as well. Thank you so much. And thanks everybody for showing up for yourself today and for Anna. And for those who are watching, you know, feel free to reach out. There are local business advisory centers. There are individuals like Anna. You're not alone in this entrepreneurial journey. So reach out as you need help. Thank you again, Anna. Thanks everyone. Enjoy the rest of the presentations across the board.